Dang it. All right. Hadn't done that in a while. Only 3 minutes. It caught me for 3 minutes, though. 3 minutes with no sound. So, again, today is July 2nd, 2024. What I've been doing recently is recording the charts. I've been recording the charts so I can see what happens when we get these dips here, to be able to replay in the day what happened. Okay, so that being said, let me see. All right, that being said, I recorded part of the day. Typically what I'm recording is like from 9:45 to 11 o'clock, but because of where in the day I set my chart up from, I've got information from 8:30 as far as that 11 o'clock range or so. So, like I said, when you get this dip down here, when you get this time here, this looked like it'd be around 10:20 or so. So we go back into the day around 10:20. We want to see what happened in that low area. So let's back it up to about 10:12 or so. 10:16, 10:12 or so. Now what I'm doing is I'm paying attention to not necessarily the time of sales, but the bid and the ask. You see what happened? Whoa, you see what happened right there? All of a sudden we got 200s. So if we go back to here, we got nothing. 200s. 200 just showed up at 55.17. I don't know if it drops any more below. Let's see. 55.17 was the where we saw the 200 set, but then that 55.17 disappeared. Okay, so now we just hit 55.17, went down to 55.16. So 16, ooh, even went to 15. 15.50. Okay, so 15.50. So what I can do, I should be able to do, I haven't spent a lot of time with going back through, but you see I can slow this down. I can slow this down to half the speed. So when this really does start to get in here and getting funky, I can slow it down and I can see exactly what's happening with these numbers. Oh, it's dropping more. It's dropping. You see, you've got 200s again. 200 down to 55.12. 55.12. Now I've done some playing with my AT ladder, with my active trader ladder, and so it came out 55.12. Tried to drop down to 11.50, and that might have been the bottom. Yeah, I think that was the bottom. But you see what that number did, right? That number got to around 200 there on the bid side for, and it, yeah, see here, there it's showing up again, the 200s, right? 55.12. And I think that was that low. That was the low, and then it moves up from there. So what I was interested in is I wanted to see if I could put together a program that would show me when I do have high levels like that. So if you look back over at my chart, this is Fire Eyes. I've got information here for the cumulative level 2. So this cumulative level 2 is going to add, you see this level 2 here, this level 2 information, and it's making new highs. It's going about to make new highs. But I told myself I can't trade because I fumbled yesterday. I fumbled the bag. All right, but you see this level 2 here, you got like 10 levels deep of it. All these levels right here are around the same. 100, 100, 100, 20, 30, 50, 40, 19. This is dropping down to 70 now. 150. So all these levels are relatively the same. Here you got 200s, you got 230, 50, 20, 50, 50, 90, 290 up here, and 55, 59. So I imagine at 55, 59 even, you're going to have a little bit of trouble. 55, 59. Okay. I wish there was a quicker way to do this. All right. Of course, I could make it bigger and then go in there and, of course, we're locked. I could do it that way. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we got that level 55, 59, but like I said, within here, you have that high, I call it a node. You know, you got hundreds, or 200s, 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 and then you got 290. Oh, you see 400 popped up at 55.60. So 55.60 is definitely going to be an area of potential supply when it comes back to it. You know, so I don't know if you want to move that up or not. I hadn't quite figured out how to, you know, trade with this yet, but because I just made this strategy last night, and I had to do some adjustment to it to make sure that it worked. And one of the adjustments I had to do to it is I mentioned to you before that when you use a vector, when you call on the vector, you need to make sure that you identify what type of value is coming out of the vector. And, you know, if you don't put the type that's coming out of the vector, then you're going to end up with a program that does not give you an error, but that does give erroneous information. Wow. I mean, this thing's just been shooting all day. I'm so tempted to jump over and do it, but I shan't. I shall spend time learning the craft. All right, so what I decided to do was I came up with this script that gives. So when we're looking at, we're looking at level 2. There were 10 lines of the level 2. One here, one here, one at this price, one at this price, one at this price, one at this price. Pretty much for every tick, there was level 2 data, right? So this line might have been 100. This line might have been 100. This line might have been 120 shares. This line might have been 140. This line might have been 200. This line might have been 120, 120, 120. All right, but this 200 here, this node here, this 200 is what I'm focused on. So, like I said, my script, it will identify that as this comes down within this bar. All right, we got a node, we got a high node in here somewhere within that level 2 depth. And I mean, I'm liking the potential for it because, like I said, here it gives you an entry, here it gives you a good entry, here it gives you a good entry, and here and here and here. Well, maybe not as much here. Here. So I'm seeing a lot of potential for it. Now, if I overlay that with some of the other information on the chart, then I think we're gonna be in good shape. See, this one here, this first one here might have been premature. But then why would you say that this one would be, I mean, other than the cumulative level 2, like the total of all the level 2 for the bid and the ask went up, significantly. Here, this one was not as valid, or this one, or this one. Is that one? This one didn't even fire off, but this has high ticks. So anyway, it's just another something that this information here is what the this information here is what the chart is about. I mean, the buying and the selling. I mean, these candlesticks, we look at the candlesticks and we try to pull information from the candlesticks, but why not go to the source? Why not go to the source? And the source is the buying and the selling. Level 2 just happens to be the interest or the potential buying and selling, and then we have the we've got the time and sales, which is the actual buying and selling. And got the time and sales over here. Okay. Nothing really. Oh, I mean, this trend changing script that I made, it fired off right here. I mean, it worked. It fired off right here. It worked. That trend changing, I mean, it works. It works often enough. And when it works, there's a lot of upside. I would say that it has a great risk to reward relationship. But I hadn't been trading with it. Yep, that trend changing seems, but I mean, it was based on it was just like a simple script. Again, I found a lot of times that some of these simple scripts have some of the best potential for profit. All right, well, I'm not going to hang out too long here. I think just for practice, I'm going to put together one of the other scripts that I had on another video, just to continue to practice. So let's take the 1 minute time frame. We'll put it on random scripts. Why does this 1 minute time frame have the pull to bulls and this other one didn't? Oh, yes, it did. Okay. All right. So this pull, this P2 bull here, this is supposed to be. This is supposed to be when the chart makes a retracement down into an area that is, you know, either, I guess what some people call, I don't know if they call it fair value gap. I don't know if they call it order block, that kind of thing. But something along that nature. It's something that I saw in the chart, but I think that it's similar to what other people describe as something like an order block or something like that. So it's gotta meet that criteria as well as some other criteria. And those don't work as well as I'd like for them to. And that's why I don't even really look for them anymore. I don't talk about them. This one here is a P2 bear. So I expect bearish activity when this one fires off, which we did get a retracement. I mean, it moved up and we got a retracement there. This one is a P2 bull, so we'd expect bullish movement, which it did. But you see here, we were back in some area here for a bearish movement, and we didn't get it. And then it, you know, certainly gave us the signal again, and we didn't get it. So, and then here, this one is saying, hey, go bullish, and it wasn't time. This one said, go bullish, and it wasn't time. So, yeah, nothing is 100%. And that is my problem. That is my problem. I will put everything in the basket. I will put everything in the basket, especially if it's feeling like it's doing pretty good. I will risk all my gains for the day and then some on one trade, instead of looking for a cumulative consistency type of situation. And that's why I just need to automate. So, and I said that a while ago, that is going to be my goal. Actually, the last couple weeks, just on my regular account here for TradeStation, I made a few dollars trading micros. So I need to at least use that $100 that I made there. So at least risk that on letting my automation try to do what it can. Maybe risk $20 a day or something like that, which on micros is reasonable. That's what I should do. I should do it. Will I do it? I really should do that. It's crazy that I won't do it because I spend so much time on programming. But I'm back to programming. Like I said, I'm almost done with the properties. Get the second one rented out here. I'll be good to go. But I'll be back at it. All right. So in the meantime, one of the things I needed to do was let me open up the coding environment. All right, so this is just part of what I've been working on for those nodes, for the nodes that I was showing you earlier. So one of the things I need to do is I need to not necessarily print it off, but I do need. I'm not sure. I haven't fine-tuned it yet, so I don't know how else to fine-tune that node script. I'm getting maybe a few more signals than I like. You hear how many signals are going off? Sentiment growing. So I'm probably getting more signals than I like. But actually, you know, it's not bad. But so I think I need to fine tune how many signals I'm getting. And then once I do that, I need to be able to print to a or write to a text file when I'm getting those signals, and that way I can replay them throughout the day. See, 173 is a little bit higher there. And I might be able to do something, well, might, of course you can do it. If you get the 188, if you get a down tick toward it, maybe you take an entry when you get a down tick toward it, something like that. So got to keep looking at the replays and then figure out how to trade it. So I just got one. Excuse me on that one. Okay, so let's go over here and say, like I said, I got it playing the sound, sentiment growing, that print. Need to make a stream writer. So stream writer is gonna, I really don't want to, I shouldn't have messed with this one. Gonna copy it. Yep, it already did it. It already erased, I think it did. No, it didn't. Okay. Sometimes if you mess with these things while they're already on the chart, then they'll erase all of the indications that it's already made. Stream. Okay, all right. So paste that. Well, I'm going to bring in a market depth provider, and I like to call that MDP1. MDP. Load it. True. Tag text. No symbol. It's going to be whatever the symbol is. All right. That should verify. It does. Okay. So now we need to add using EL system. Well, I think it's TS data. No. .io. That work? Okay. That's that.io. We need to bring in a stream. Well, we're ultimately going to do a stream writer and a stream reader, but first we need to do a stream writer. And then it's going to be stream write null, and then so once on the chart. Remember I said this before that you kind of want to do all your once stuff together instead of making separate statements. So once we're going to do w equals new. Nope. We're going to do create dot stream writer. Now it should pop up there. It should pop up parentheses with what we want to put in it. Stream writer, stream reader, stream writer. Yeah. Unless I just put that on backwards. String path. So now I need to make a new. Make a new text file that will be called level 2 nodes. Okay, and then copy that path. So you just make your new text file. Just, you know, right here, you right click, you do go to new, and then you do text document. Okay, and then, you know, make it whatever it is, rename it. Alright, and then you click on it, right click on it, and then you do copy the path, which will give you the path name with the quotation marks and everything. So just paste that. And so once begin that streamwriter.create. Alright, streamwriter. So now what we want to write is we want to write something in like a comma delimited form. So if you look here, this is just well, if you look here, this is one of the text files that I have. So it has the date, the bar date and time, and then it has the value and the value. Okay, but it's separated by comma. So in order to separate it by comma, we can use no, we just save it that way. All right, so once we get, now we don't need to print this. We were essentially printing stuff here to help us figure out, you know, when we get a new value, you hear sentiment growing, that means that we're getting the conditions are being met for a high node here, and so it'll print out what the value of the node is and the index number. You see 10 means that it's the 10th index. Actually, it should be the 9th index. 10 would be, I guess, the spot that it is within the vector. Alright, so we actually don't need to print that anymore. We will continue to plot. We'll continue to plot. Don't need to print. We don't need to plot this low. You can play the sound, that's fine. But then we want to save this price. We want to save that price. So we're going to make that equal to value 1 is equal to copy, paste, and this should just be easily value 1. And in order to print to the stream writer, we're going to say, oh, when we do the stream writer, this is one big thing. You need to make sure that you have it amended. I think you just put a comma here and put true. Now allow it to be amended in between. Prints. Okay, so if all this is true, then or we can open it every time. I don't know how much that takes from the computer, but we could open this every time, and that way, because what's going to happen is when you When you have the condition met, it's going to open the chart, it's going to write to it, and then it'll stay open until it needs to write to it again, and stay open until it needs to write to it again. But technically, you really want to close the chart, especially if you have a lot of gap, a lot of time in between the chart. You don't want to just keep the chart open. You know, you want to save it on the close and then go ahead and close it just in case something happens with the computer or something like that. You at least have a saved file. So you want to open it, print, close. Open it, print, close. Open it, print, close, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to open this every time that we need to use it. So we're going to begin, and so we're just going to have a whole separate function here. All right, so we're going to open the stream writer. We're going to add a line. Eesh. Oof. I think it's actually called write line. And what are we going to write? We're going to, I've seen this done before. I think Markplex does this, so I do it. I think it's a good idea. So we're just going to have another variable that's called string str, and it'll be a string type. And so that's what's going to be written to it. Now, what is going to be in str? Str is going to be a string, and it's going to be equal to bar date and time, and then our value. So the bar date and time is going to be what? To get a bar date and time that looks like this, and there's a certain format for it. I'm going to have to pull it up, but you want the date and you want the time in seconds, not necessarily milliseconds. Don't go messing with stuff, Eric. All right, so that's going to be format dot yeah, I think it's format dot string. I'm trying to do this from memory now. Bar date time dot format dot string dot format. Okay. Bar date time dot format. That's it. And then there you have your string format, and you're going to use percent format codes to convert it. So, and it's going to end up being something like percent or percent month, percent day, or percent year, percent day, percent month, something like that. And then it's going to be the hours, minutes, minutes, seconds, something like that. All right, let's see how close I am to being right. I think these are lowercase. Year, month, day, and then these are capitalized. All right, so let's go open up another one. Oh, that streams, and bar date time. Yep, so it's lowercase. Month, day, year. So it's month, day, year. Okay, I thought it was year, month, day. So month, day, year, and then hour, minute, second. That is capitalized. Okay. All right. And then we're going to add the symbol to it. Month, day, year, hours, minute, second. All right, so we're going to have that, and then we're going to add a plus. We need to get our comma in there. That way we have comma delimited. A comma delimited line, and that way we can pull it up with the stream reader, no problem. All right, so plus symbol, we're going to do value 1. And that should be it. Oh, and then we're going to close. Reader. Now the writer will save on the close. The reader just needs to close. All right, let's see how many errors we have. Oh, I already have a string? I don't think I'm using string anywhere though. Let's make this string 1, because I don't know what I'm using that other one for, and I don't want to mix anything up. Plus wait. This is a number, so it can't just be added to a string. It's got to be converted to a string to be added to a string when you're adding. All right, so that's going to be num to string. So going to be value 1, and this is this an integer? This is a double. So we're going to go 2 decimal places. Okay, no issues there. So let's do level 2 nodes v2 indicator. We're going to add that. Let's just add it to the same one. Yeah, why not? Okay. Look at that. Because we were hearing a lot of these signals here, back here, all through here. It waited here, and then we got it dropped here, all through here, and we haven't had any through here. So what is happening with the chart? Something is happening. Is it going into a rest? It's waiting, looking for more. There we go. We're looking for more market participants. So we just got one. Like I said, I hadn't figured out how to trade this yet. Just put it together this morning. Last night and this morning. I imagine it's a scalping tool, but I'm sure that it's going to be overlaid with some other information. But that one alert that we got, it should have also printed to our text file. There's another one. And with that one, it shot up. So like I said, definitely a scalp tool. All right. Level 2 nodes. Ah, what you doing? How come it didn't print out? Let's see. Level 2 nodes v2 stream. Nothing wrong with that. This is the same. str1. Streamwriter.create. True. Write the line str1 and then streamwriter close. Bar date time format plus a symbol. Oh man, I told you it's been a long day. You've been out there on the roof and doing all moving stoves, and then you come back to program. All right. Well, why didn't it write the line? Let's make sure that, I mean, this script should be working. It's the same as this other script, but let's put it on its own. Let's give it its own screen. 15-second. What is it? ES U24. All right. And I'm going to add it here. 2 nodes. I imagine it only wants to exist on one chart though. So let's take it off this other one. Okay, so it should show up here just the same. Nevertheless, watch. There we go. All right, let's see. All right, so it didn't print on this chart for some reason. Well, hang on. Let's move that to scaling, same as underlying. This style, it's not a histogram. It'll be across that. Don't automatically connect. Yes, and yes. Okay. All right, so yeah, it's still not putting our values where we want them. Again, the only thing that we changed between copying and pasting was that we made this equal to value 1, and then we plotted value 1 instead of having all of this right here. Let's move it back. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move that to right there, and then I want to do this. Put that there, and then we'll turn this off because we don't need value 1 at that point. All right, so here we go. Let's try it again. All right, again, not firing off on this screen, but still working on this screen. You know what? Maybe because when I copied and pasted, yes. All right, so when I copied and pasted, when you copy and paste, all of your information is pretty much going to be within the main body of your script, of your program. If you do so happen to use anything in the toolbox function, it actually stays on the initial chart. You have to set up a new tool. As far as I know, I don't know of any other way. You have to set up a new toolbox. You have to bring it over from the toolbox yourself. So I had to, I copied and pasted, and then I brought this over from the toolbox, and then I renamed it MDP as it should be. So when we come over here and we got MDP, we made sure that we updated the name and the symbol, and that it did load. However, we didn't do anything with the update, right? So what is part of the program is that when we have new market data, when we have a new tick, or when we have new information coming to the level 2, we need to update like the books, update the information that we have. So we do need to make sure that we come over here and we update this events handler to whatever our name is. So we're using the updated part, so we'll call it I'll call it new 2. And once you hit enter there, then it gives you, see here, it gives you new 2, right? So new 2 has new 2 I guess new 2 is the same as on the other script. On this other one here that I copied it from, it was actually called MDP update. So here on this one, we're calling it new 2, so we don't even need this, but we'll take, it was told it was new 2 is supposed to do something. This is what it's supposed to do if new 2 is called upon. So we'll get that out, verify that, put a colon there. Okay, now we'll go back to our new workspace, come back here, make sure that it's turned on. It is on. Okay, so now when we get a entry, it should work just fine, and it should also give us a value on this chart here, on the text file. It should give us the bar date and the time, and then it should give us the value of the node, if you will. And so what I'll do is I'll just continue to compile that, and then I will use that to help me try to figure out and weed out what those values should be. So again, right now there's nothing on the chart. There's nothing on the text file. So we're just waiting for this to fire off. Yep, it's been rolling today. It's been rolling today. Rolling. Yeah. There we go. All right. So you see here in yellow, that's our, so in yellow, this, if you look back on the, you look back here, that was saying that we got a high node down at the lower end, right? So it was actually coming in at here, 55.53. 55.53 is somewhere down here. So it's coming in toward the bottom of the level 2. Yeah, you see here, came back down 55.53. 200 is significantly higher than the rest of them. And the way that I have it set up is that if this node is greater than 1.4 times the average of all these, then it will fire off. So again, I mean, obviously you can see here that there's a potential for a push. If you get down to 55.53, there's a potential for a push because you have some demand there, you have some potential buyers. And this one fired off again. All right, so now let's go over to our folder and see if it printed like it was supposed to. Yes, it did. Okay, so here we have the date, we have the time, the symbol, and now we have the value of the of that high node. So that's what we're going to use to help kind of keep track of, like I said, moving forward. We'll use that to keep track of when we are noticing some type of node, some type of bulk in the level 2. because like I said, I've got a lot of potential, got a lot of signals over here, but I need to narrow it down so that that best number might not be 1.4 times greater. It might be 1.8 times greater or something like that. But I'll play with it over the next couple of days. I'll probably just increase it by maybe a factor of 10% or something like that every day until we get to the point to where we're not hardly getting any usable signals. So tomorrow I should put it at like we'll put it at 1.5 or 1.54. But yeah, all right, so I got to make some calls and that kind of thing. I do want to make another quick program, but I know with me, nothing is quick. With me, nothing is quick. And actually, if I do change that chart like that, then I need to... I don't have to. Okay, I don't have to. Do I? I'm thinking that I need to also, on this text file that's being recorded. Yeah, I do. I would need to. I would need to change this because this is referencing the time of the bar. And so if I use like a 1 second bar, this would show 46 or 47 or 48. If I'm on a 5-minute bar, this will show 15:10, 15:15, 15:20. So to help me make sure that I have the right resolution, that I'm zoomed in to the right level, I probably need to add on here what the bar is. But I really should only use, I think I should really only use this if I'm like on the 15-second bar. So actually, I'm going to make this script so that it only works on a 15-second bar. And that way I'll kind of just squash all that. All right, so... All right, so... if bar interval equals 15 and bar type is equal to, I think second is 14. Bar type second is for 14. 1 would be the minute. You see, 1 is minute, 14 is second. Okay, so if it's a 15-second bar and VList is not null, then we can check no. Okay, so I'll hit that. All right, so like I said, now on this chart, you won't see any of those dots pop up. You'll only see it pop up if it's on the 15-second chart. So that's a way that you can kind of, you know, make sure that you're getting the right data in the right places, because it's important. It's really important. All right. Yeah, I'm afraid that now with the help of the level 2 data and some of this other stuff, I may be able to put together some scripts that work on the lower, like a lower time frame, 15-second time frame. Okay. All right, but we'll keep looking, we'll keep working, guys. Hope you got something out of this. 54 minutes and counting. I'm Eric. I'm out. Peace.